Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak. And you can see on the board now we got a good main track. Had a little bit of rain last night, so we're going to start today with a good track. But the turf course is listed as firm. That needed some rain, so we'll start today once again with a good main track, firm turf course. We got a nice carryover in the Rainbow Six. We got an 8-race card today, so it starts in race number 3, $119,000 plus. Races 3 through 8. Hi, Katie. How you doing?
I'm doing well. The sun is shining brightly. I would not be surprised at all if that track is upgraded to fast as we get through the afternoon.
Oh, without a doubt, especially here in South Florida, just starting the day that way. And, they might upgrade it, but, after they watch one race, it just had some moisture. And when it came this morning, the dogs were up on the main track. So a little bit of rain, so we'll see how this works out today. Well, as I mentioned, we got an 8-race card. We got a great carryover in the Rainbow Six, and we got a really, really nice horse returning. And we'll talk about that horse, and that's in race number 3 in just a moment. But let's start the day in race number 1. This is 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Claim is fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Non-winners of 3 races in life. We're going to have 8 runners going to the post. No scratches or jockey changes. I want to go back and show you a performance of the horse Katie has on top of her ticket, and that is number 4, Shiloh.
I was pretty impressed by this horse last time out. I remember watching this race, and I took a note of it, how well this horse ran. Was in tight quarters in this race. Really lacked racing room. As you can see, the jockey has to take up a bit there. As it gets a little keen, wants to make a move. Jockey's still fighting the horse there in Shiloh. But he's not going to tire. She's going to actually slip through along the rail eventually. They wait and wait and wait. The patience pays off. She's able to find some room along the rail. She's going to take the lead there at the quarter pole, top of the stretch. And she ends up holding on. She's going to, draw off a little bit. The field's going to catch up to her. She probably gets a little tired from fighting the rider so much in this race. But she's able to hold on for a win. And I was impressed by the performance. Edgar Zayas is going to pick up the mount today. He's so good at getting horses to relax, especially up there near the front end. I think she can score back-to-back wins today. Yeah,
that was a great video. You don't really see much of that until you go back and look at it, that she was trapped down on the inside, and a great ride, just waited for room and moved through. I have that horse on my ticket, but I went the other way, horse you have in third on top, and that is So Festive, who's turning back to 7.5 furlongs after shipping in from Tampa into the Dave Fawkes barn and finishing second against the same caliber competition, going a mile in the 16th. Won labor rides today. I just thought, a race over the course is going to improve today. But got number 4, Shiloh, on the ticket, and we both used number 3, and that is Sky, Blue, and Black.
I think the turnback is going to be key for this one, as well as So Festive. Like you mentioned, the last time she won, it was at a mile. So this is the right distance, just around there. Sky Blue and Black raced just off the pace last time out and faded as the favorite on May 22nd. That was at a mile and a 16th, but 2 starts back, she romped by 6 lengths. I think the combination of maybe bouncing off that big effort and it was a little too far, this time around she should be better at this distance.
Yeah, she's had 7 races at this approximate 7.5 furlong mile distance and won 2 of those. So 2 out of 7 at the distance, so the turnback certainly going to help. We're basically in agreement there, just having boxed up, and going to go back and give another look to number 4, Shiloh, after that trouble call that we looked at last time. And it wasn't really a trouble call. It was just waiting for racing room and got the job done. Very nice performance. Let's go to race number 2 today. And always exciting at Gulfstream Park when we have 2-year-old racing. This one, 4.5 furlongs. Maiden claim is 2-year-old. $50,000. We've had a lot of maiden special weight. This is the claiming ranks. High price claimer, $50,000. We do have a scratch in here of number 2, Flipshot. And we both went with the number 3. And it wasn't that hard of a nut to crack.
I don't think so. This one's from the Wesley Ward barn, and that right there should send a light off for you. Entered a couple of weeks ago, but was scratched and gets into this spot, which I actually think is pretty competitive in this race. But this first-time starter is a son of High Cotton. I really like High Cotton and the horses that he's been producing. Local Florida sire. 7 published works to his credit, including the Bullet on June 2nd. Blew out 3 furlongs and 35-3. Seems like he's going to be sharp for this effort. Yeah,
and a real good stat here. Wesley Ward, you look at it all the time with his maiden special weight 2-year-olds. He's about 21 cents. With maiden claimers, he's 33% first time out. So an angle there you got to look at. Looks like the logical choice. I went with the 1 in second, who Katie has in third. That is Flashing Light. This is a gelded son of Seeking Beauty, debuting for trainer Larry Pilati. Boy, this one is ready to go. He's got 11 morning workouts showing. The freshman starts his career from the rail. He's got Lasix, and he's got Eddie Castro at the controls. I just thought this was a logical choice for this horse to start. Has to deal with the inside position there.
That was my only concern, but he looks great, has the most extensive workout pattern of these horses, and I really liked the last work, was particularly strong on Saturday, went 4 furlongs and 48 and 3, so I think he looks pretty good. Who else did you throw in?
Well, I used the 5 horse, but I want to hear about the 4 that you have in second first, and that is Everything Goes, from the Mike Yates barn.
Well, I thought Michael Yates has had a pretty good start to the season, already has a 2-year-old winner. He has 2 in this race. I had to give this one the edge because he has leading rider Tyler Gaffleone in the irons. Son of Valid Reprise. The only concern I had was only 2 workouts to know.
Well, the horse I put in third is because of stats. This one is it's Zukov. Number 5 is by his size, Street Boss. And if you look at Street Boss, he produces first out 2-year-old winners at a very strong 23% rate. He's a half brother to a local horse here called Old Time Sake, who I think might be running tomorrow or Saturday, one of those days. Manny Aguilar in the saddle today. So I just thought off of that win early pedigree that maybe this horse can grab a share. I don't know what he's on the morning line, 12-1. This is a horse that you might want to look around and throw on your exacta trifecta. And, of course, the first of 2 pick 4 starts here today.
I think Old Time Sake is running Saturday. I remember looking at him last night.
Yeah, so Old Time Sake.
Game horse.
Yeah, so the game horse, and this one is a half to Old Time Sake, so we'll see how that works out today. The third race is the one we were talking about, 5 furlongs on the turf. We mentioned the turf course is listed as good. It's 3-year-olds and up, an overnight handicap. We have the scratch of the main track only participant, number 7, Phish Fan, and boy, everybody's been waiting for the return of the number 1 horse in here, Fast Anna. Let's go back and show you one of her races.
Yeah, well, this is the last time we saw Fast Anna here at Gulfstream, and he made sure that he left a lasting impact on us. He is such, to put it, pardon the pun, but he is just so fast. He comes out of the gate and he romps here by 13 lengths. Again, this was the last time we saw him at Gulfstream, who would go on to finish third in the Grade 1 King's Bishop. He also ran in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, finished 5th, but I thought that was pretty respectable because look at the horses he finished behind. Work All Week, Secret Circle, and Private Zone. He far outclasses this field. He's working well, but he is coming back from a long layoff, and he's on the grass today. Yeah, he's on the grass today, and it just looks like a perfect spot to get him back to win it. It looks like he could win it, even though it is his debut on the grass, and we always mention not to bet something that it's a horse that's doing something for the first time, but I don't know if that much of a concern. And the trainer is Kathy Ridbo, and who's in to ride? Her son Michael today, because I said to him, boy, you're riding a Cadillac today. He said, no. It's a Ferrari. So, number 1, Fast Anna, making its turf debut today. The horse that we both had in second was the 6, Breitling Flyer, who's turning back today to 5 furlongs. You look at this horse's last race, set the pace, hold on. He defeated a nice group of $62,500 optional claimers. Going 7.5 furlongs. 7.5 furlongs at Gulfstream is around 2 turns on a turf course. Previous winner at this distance, 5 races, 1 win. Luca Panici handling, got the outside draw today. So turn back, I think it's a logical second choice in this race. Completely agree. He stakes place, has a bit of back class, has the fitness edge, but he is going up against a tough competitor today. Yeah, and you used the number 2, Lakota Warrior, in third. Well, this one's from the Joe Hennessy barn. Set the pace and faded in a mile and a 16th. Sophomore turf stakes up at Tampa Bay Downs. That was his last start on April 4th and was also his turf debut. The turn back to 5 furlongs I just thought would suit him well based on what I saw from him last time out. Yeah, and I threw in the 4 in here, Guambiero. I think it's pronounced Guambiero. I think it's pronounced. We'll get the perfect enunciation of that. Stepping up today, big time, after setting the pace in Weekly Lake to finish 4th. A consecutive $20,000  2 lifetime claims. This is a big jump up, but you know what? He's going to be out there playing catch me if he can. And I don't know if he can beat the horses we were just talking about, but certainly hold on for his share. And like I said, we got exacta and trifecta wagering in this race. Horse that I thought can hold on maybe, after setting, looks like he's going to be part of the pace in here. I don't know if he can outrun Fast Anna, but, it's certain to be up there. And I think you're going to be able to find a lot of value because all the money is going to go in on Fast Anna. So use these horses, the bottom of your ticket, in exactas and trifectas, and you can make a nice amount of money. And that's where the Rainbow Six kicks in. So here's your question. We have that carryover today, a nice carryover today of $119,000 plus in race number 3. It starts. So the Rainbow Six,
Here's your question. Do you single Fast Anna? I bet you 99% of the people that are betting the Rainbow Six are going to single Fast Anna, and who can blame them? Let's go to race number 4 today. 6 furlongs, claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $10,000. We have, I think we have one scratch in here of the number 1 horse in here, and that is Duchess of, I got my line right through it. Duchess of Wicklow. I should know this horse. Been running here forever. Never put your line when you scratch a horse through the horse's name. It's hard not to have number 7, Mis Olga, on top of your ticket.
I think you might even be able to find a reason to single this horse in this race, especially with the scratch of Duchess of Wicklow, who I thought was her biggest competition in this race. She's going to be looking for her 3rd straight victory today. She's won 4 of her last 5 when running for 4 different trainers. She can win from the lead, she can stalk the pace, and she's a 4-time winner at the distance. I think she's tough in here, and I see you agree.
Yeah, I mean, she crushed 5 rivals last time out. She won that race by 6 and, just drew away. I think she's the one to beat. Antonio Sano's the trainer. Apprentice Harry Hernandez handling his horse for courseplay. 9 races here at Gulfstream Park. 6 wins, 2 seconds, and the 3rd. Once again, scratch the 1. Duchess of Wicklow. The horse we both used in 2nd in here is 8. Keep in mind, who's stepping up today?
Yeah, stepping up for sure, but she's on a 2-race win streak and hasn't finished worse than 2nd in her last 4 starts, but she's going to be facing open company today. She's been facing condition claimers in her last 4
Well,
races.
I don't know if you, sorry, do you have Duchess of Wicklow on your ticket, which I did, and I added the number 4 horse in there, Dream Castle, stretching out to 6.5 furlongs. This horse has had, a pretty good record, here at Gulfstream Park in the past, has been hit the board a bunch of times, and I just thought with this horse returning from Tampa, was in the money and could run well in this spot. 9 of 13 races at Gulfstream Park, she's been in the money.
Yeah, she's run well, and she's a great value at 8-1. Definitely one worth putting on the ticket. I think after that top horse in Yes, Miss Olga, you could go a lot of ways. I had to throw in the 6th, Princess Appeal. This one made a 5-wide rally to get up for 2nd at this distance. Last time out on May 15th, was only beaten a length, and 2 starts back, she won. She's also a 4-time winner at the distance, but again, stepping up a little bit for the start. Yeah,
and I mean, again, do you single Yes, Miss Olga in that spot, and, go 2 for 2, and then go all, if you might be the way to go in the Rainbow Six this afternoon. Don't forget that race number 4 does start our pick 5 of the afternoon with the last 5 races on the card. So, Fast Anna, not in that sequence, but maybe you start your pick 5 with Yes, Miss Olga singled in that race. Let's go to race number 5. This one's 7 furlongs, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $10,000, and we're going to have 8 runners going to the post in this race, and we both went with the number 8 Starship Cosmo, now in the Mike Petro barn. This is her daughter of Graham Hall, dropping to this $10,000 level after coming within about a half length of defeating $16,000 maidens going this distance. That was on a wet track. Listed as good. I don't know what we're going to have here by race number 5, but it's showing it can run on a track with a little bit of moisture in it.
Love that she's moving to the Michael Petro barn. He's 24% with new additions to the barn, but I think this is a race that you are definitely going to want to go deep in.
Yeah, I went with the number 1 in 2nd, the way Bell is, and this one is trying 7 furlongs after finishing 2nd against Similar. That was at 6 furlongs, and then it's 6.5 furlongs. So maybe this is the distance that you'll get out of 2nd gear. Jose Garofalo has Jonathan Gonzalez trying to get this filly, as I mentioned, out of 2nd gear. You went with the number 4 on your ticket in 2nd, that Spiritual Leader.
Well, she came a length from victory last time out, going a mile. Weakened after drifting out on the far turn. I think distance again is going to come into play, and she should be well suited to 7 furlongs today.
Well, the reason I used the 7 in here, My Eastern Busey, she's stretching out slightly after making a bid and finishing 3rd behind the way Bell is, going 6.5 furlongs. So I thought if I liked the number 1, the way Bell is, this was a logical choice to put on the ticket. And I see you also have the horse in 3rd, but it, once again, looks like a nice race for Starship Cosmo.
Yeah, I agree. But My Eastern Beauty, that race that she ran last time out was off a 2-month break. She should be better 2nd start back.
So a little wide open there. That's where you go deeper, especially if you're in agreement with us with Fast Anna and Yes, Ms. Olga. This is the race where you want to go deep. You can see we're in agreement with our top selection, and then you can go a lot of different ways in race number 5. Race number 6 today is a 1-mile turf event, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. $35,000. Sounds like an easy day until we get to this race because we got a full field of 11 runners in here. And look at us. We both have the number 11 horse, Weiwei Toka, on top of our ticket, breaking from the outside. Why'd you like number 11, Weiwei Toka?
Well, I love the connections to start from the Efren Loza Jr. barn. He's so great at spotting his horses. Has Tyler Gaffleone in the irons, but she's also taking a significant class drop today after finishing 4th against $50,000 maiden claimers on May 20th. That was her first start in almost 3 months. Taking the class drop and being fitter today, second start back, I had to put her on top.
Yeah, and the barn excels with that type of move, too, you know, at the drop and the second off the bench. So number 11, Weiwei Toka, on top of our tickets. Number 4, Dreaming of Eva, is a full sister to a 3-time stakes winner called Dreaming of Sophia, who's stretching out to a mile today after I thought a really promising 5-furlong career debut on the turf in which she rallied late to come within a neck of Xing the maiden ranks at the $20,000 level. You know, it's got some nice breeding. I think the stretch out to a mile is not going to affect that horse this much, and I thought that, and I see that you also used number 4, Dreaming of Eva, on your ticket.
Yeah, and it looks like Harry Hernandez is going to choose to ride this one over Weiwei Toka. He rode both of them last time out, so that might be telling you something.
Yeah, you know, if you play musical jockeys, that might be the way to go. We're in agreement. You used the 2, Starship Galaxy, in third.
I thought she showed promise in her career debut last time out. Finished a clear-cut second at this distance on May 3rd. Luca Panici is going to keep the mount, staying consistent. She can definitely improve with that race experience.
You know, we said at the beginning at the top that it was a $35,000 maiden claim, but even these horses ran for $20,000. Looks like a sort of lateral move with the amount of competition in here.
I agree.
So, I mean, I'm not, you know, saying, oh, my goodness, they're stepping way up. I don't see it as a big step up in competition in race number 6. But once again, anytime you have a full field of 11 runners at Gulfstream Park on the turf and they're evenly matched like they are in that race, you might want to go a little deep in there. Let's go to race number 7 today. It's a 6-furlong race, and it's an allowance optional claimer for state-bred 3-year-olds and up with $12,500. And we do have 2 scratches in here. Scratch number 3, Put Some Back, and scratch number 7, Mystical Myles. And we also want to go back and show you a horse that I did not put on top of my ticket, and you did. And when I went back and looked, I said, maybe I made a little mistake here. We're talking about the 11th today. We're All Set.
This horse really impressed me last time out. You're going to take a look at We're All Set. This was his first start off the claim for trainer Peter Walder, and he moved way forward. He drew off to a 3.5 victory, and what I liked was that the horse he beat, Ross Durant, came back to win next time out pretty impressively. He's going to be fresh for this start today. We're All Set. He's been working well. Jonathan Gonzalez is going to stay aboard, and I think he can make it back-to-back wins.
Well, I'm going to try and beat him. Not only going to try and beat him, I'm going to beat him with my best bet today, and that is the number 9. Looks good, and this one certainly lived up to his name when he drew clear to win his $35,000 career debut. He won that race by 9+ lengths. I really liked that performance last time out. Kathleen O'Connell, Eduardo Nunez returning on the son of Circular Key. So I'm trying to get a little cute here and beat the horse that's probably going to take all the money in here with the number 9. Looks good. You got to take a stand once in a while, so I made this one my best bet. You in second. We both have a hard-knocking popular horse called Dangerous Trick.
Hard knocking is right. This horse has won 3 of his last 5 starts. He's hit the board in 10 of his last 11 starts, and he has just been a popular commodity, not just among us, but among the trainers, because he's been claimed out of his last 3 starts. He's going to run for trainer Mohamed Jaludi today. Miguel Vasquez is going to take the reins. I really don't think the connections matter with this horse. He's so game, and he's a 6-time winner both here and at this distance.
Yeah, and he was claimed in 6 of his last 7 races. We go back before this 3 straight, so like we said, very popular in the claiming box along with that, and he can jump up and beat these horses, even though we're all set for the reasons we mentioned. And number 9 looks good, is my, guess that he's going to win 2 in a row as impressively as he won his debut. But number 2, Dangerous Dick, you know what you're getting there, and it seems that everybody that claims him knows what they're getting when they claim this horse. So a real nice 7th race today. And once again, I'm thinking you go a little deep in there, or you think you can do it with the 2 and 11?
I would go deep, because I'm listening to you talk about Looks Good, and I don't have that one, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I take 3 or 4 here.
Well, what about social media, who you do have?
Well, he's from the Stanley Gold Barn, and I thought that he was pretty solid in his first start back from a pretty extended layoff. He was on the shelf for 7 months, finished 5th in a starter allowance. That was in open company. I think he should just move forward second start back off the layoff.
Well, let's go to our final race on the afternoon. It's a 5-furlong turf claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, or 3-year-olds, $16,000. We're going to scratch the number 8, Emerald Citadelle in here. And I want to go back and show you the performance, the horse I put on top in here, and that is the number 2, Sora. This was the 5 horse. We're going to show it at the start, and you'll see the 5 horse in here. And just, gets sort of squeezed in the middle there. You'll see once the race starts, sort of gets bopped around there in a little bit, and, really doesn't have a clean break in there. I mean, he got position, but what I liked about this horse, you see the horse out there, 4 or 5 wide, just comes running at the end to win this race. I just thought this was a pretty game performance. Got swift fractions in that race of 21-2 and 44-2, but this horse just, runs very well, comes up there and gets the job done. After trouble at the start, going that distance, that short distance, I thought it was a good performance.
A really strong performance. I mean, getting shuffled around there at the break, she was pretty much, her hind end was almost swept out from under, and she kind of lost her balance a bit there, was able to close well, didn't switch leads until late. Absolutely, a good choice.
I just thought off that performance, and usually when you don't break well at 5 furlongs, you're in a little bit of trouble in there, and, there was a couple of horses that didn't break well in there, but you did go with a horse. It's a logical choice, the one you put on there in the number 1, June Flower.
Well, this one had a 2-race win streak snapped when she finished off the board in an allowance here on May 24th. That spot may have just been a little bit too tough for her. She's going to drop back down to a more appropriate spot today, and I think she should rebound in a big way with the class relief. The key here is that it's non-winners of 2 or 3-year-olds, and she's won 2, and I think that gives her an edge.
Yeah, and she likes this distance. She's had 4 races at this distance with 2 wins in the 3rd. So 3 for 4 in the money at this 5 furlong distance. And you always like to see that in these sprints. Certain horses like it, certain horses don't. The other horse that I put in the 3rd and you have in 2nd is 10, Tangled the Tart. We'll try and make it 2 in a row. She tracked really moderate fractions last time out. She got up to win by a neck. It was a slow race, 5 furlongs. It was time in 57-2. I just thought that there might be a horse that are faster in here, but that might have been just on a particular day the way the course was playing. She ran well nonetheless.
She did, and she's another 2-time winner. Again, proven commodities. They've done what others haven't with that condition here. Gives those 3-year-olds a little bit of an edge if they've won more than 1 race.
And you know what? We have the super high 5 in the 8th race each and every day. So Katie has a nice 8-to-1 shot, I believe, on the top ticket, and that's the 9 Exit Strategy. And these are the type of horses that you need to come and run and grab a pair of the super high 5, which is picking the first 5 finishes in our last race each and every day.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of question marks with this horse, but making a lot of changes, and I think those changes can help give her a boost today. Returning from a 4-month layoff, blinkers added, making a surface switch back to the turf, I think that's the key, the preferred surface, and taking a significant class drop. Won her career debut in a maiden special weight when turf sprinting here last summer, and finished behind stakes-winning Lady Shipman in allowance 2 starts back. I saw that name, and that caught my eye for sure.
Yeah, I saw Shipman and said, I'm not saying that name because I might get in trouble in there. That was a pretty good performance by number 9 Exit Strategy. So that's the card. And the big news today is our 3rd race with Fast Anna coming back and trying the turf for the first time.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting race and a really nice horse to watch. We'll see if he can handle the other surface, but I think what Ron said earlier, he is just by and large the class of this race, and looking forward to seeing hopefully a successful return from him today.
Well, good luck with all your selections throughout the afternoon. Katie, are you singling Fast Anna in the Rainbow Six?
I think so.
I think so too. Good luck, everybody.